Now, the second character I actually want to talk about was probably more so of a pirate than Drake actually was, and that was William Kidd. His dates are 1645 to 1701. William Kidd was a Scottish privateer who largely operated against the French. He was a privateer, meaning he actually had permission to attack French vessels. He also was often commissioned by the English authorities to go out and attack actual pirates, those who had no permission to attack anyone and actually sought no permission. He took a French ship, actually, and in the middle of one day in the harbor of what became New York City, after many of his own sailors had been impressed by the Royal Navy. That means that the Royal Navy of England, even though he was a privateer, sanctioned by them essentially, had taken several of his sailors because they were short of hands. So he simply went and attacked a French ship in the middle of New York City. This was all considered illegal back at the time. There was really not much consideration of personal liberty. Anyway, he took many different ships. In fact, at one point, he took an Armenian ship, which he did not actually have permission to do so. It was actually taken, but largely because his men started the battle when he was indisposed in his cabin. Perhaps he had drunk too much. I'm not really sure. He was known, though, for being rather violent when he needed to and was quite an authoritarian leader. In fact, at moments when his own sailors did not actually follow his orders or did do things like take a ship they did actually have permission to take, at least from him, he was known often for simply killing them by his own hand. So that's how he handled things and how he ran his own crew. That's one of the things that made him so feared throughout all of piracy. He also used some of the wealth that he actually gathered from his privateering, or if you want to call it piracy adventures, to help found Trinity Church in New York City. You can still see it to this day right there on Wall Street. It's dwarfed by skyscrapers now. By the time that it was built, it was the tallest structure in all of New York City and stayed that way for hundreds of years. Eventually, however, he turned to actual piracy himself, began to attack whomever he wanted to without any kind of permission, and was himself actually captured by the British, who hanged him in the city of London.